At Wrestlemania 31, Rusev faced off against John Cena and lost his undefeated streak. And also the US title. This figure is a Walmart exclusive then, now, forever. And it's saying that the Rusev of the past was the Iron Sheik and that Rusev is the contemporary version. And I agree with that. Because Rusev did lose this match, as you see him in the box, is before the match started. I think it would have been really cool if Mattel went all out and gave us a playset, giving him a tank, his jacket, maybe even the Russian flag. But instead we just got this, a simple, affordable release. Here he is out of the packaging, and I'm gonna admit a little bit of bias. I think that Rusev's attire often gets a bit boring, but his WrestleMania 31 attire looks really nice with the gold accents and the nice play between the gold and the red. Color theory, everybody. I could certainly understand people hating the face because he really doesn't do this face that often. Yes, he often yells at the crowd, but this is more of a roar than a yell. I think it's a good sculpt. But unfortunately, I think that they stopped too early on his mustache, and you can see that they sculpted more of his stash, but the paint is just not there. Also, his eyebrows are too high, his eyes too wide, and for some reason we're getting a little bit of derpy eye syndrome here. It looks more like he's yawning than yelling. One thing that really draws my eye to this figure, though, is the sculpting of the hair. It flows very nicely. Let's talk about quality control, though, because that has been a very important issue when discussing contemporary Mattel figures, and unfortunately this one has some pretty big issues. First of all, I do want to show that it is falling apart out of the box. For some reason, the arm was not inserted correctly, and the arm is falling out, and it doesn't close. His chest doesn't close, which is really weird. And because of that, too, there's damage on his right shoulder. Some paint chips here and there, and some paint marks. But overall, I'm very pleased by the small painted section. He comes with two accessories, the United States Championship and his gold medal. I think the biggest draw to this set is the United States Championship as an accessory. It's nice to see that it's shiny, although some parts of it have a bit of paint runoff. But for something so small, I think that's forgivable. His gold medal is an acceptable accessory, but I think he would have been better suited coming with a Russian flag like he had when he entered the arena. It's sculpted well and the painted sections are a nice surprise, but I've seen it before, and we haven't received a Russian flag for him yet, which was a very important part for his character at the time. Because of the sculpting of the head and the hair, the gold medal is a tough fit, and it's a little difficult to get it around his neck. Overall, I think this is a well-done Rusev. It's finally a different facial expression for him. We've pretty much just gotten straight faces, so it's nice to see a bit of emotion. But I'm really upset by the downward trend in quality control that we're seeing. You know, I can kind of understand paint errors and stuff like that, but for me, a figure that's falling apart shouldn't be allowed to hit stores. And it's really upsetting to see that. So I'd like to see a bit more focus going into quality control here on out. But if you're able to get a figure that isn't falling apart, I think that this is a good release. You get a title with it, which is pretty nice to see. And I do want to note that I had no issues with articulation other than the parts that were falling apart. So if you get a regular one that doesn't have the problems that mine have, you'll have no problem moving him like any other Elite. And it's honestly, in my opinion, one of the best Rusev figures we have. You know, you might hate the face, but for me, I think it's a bit more interesting than just his straight faces.